Welcome to Riverview Highlands. This posh 150-acre recreation area just south of Detroit offers 18 holes of golf in the summer and up to 8 separate slopes for winter skiing. The facility also shares a common ground with a new area soon to be developed. This 87 acres of landfill will eventually be covered for another golf course and a man-made lake and beach. The existing golf course and ski hill sits atop a closed landfill holding more than 29 tons of garbage. Mount Trashmore, as it's called, has been here for 10 years and rates as one of the Midwest's 10 best ski areas. And it seems that no one is afraid of what's below.
I've fallen and I've seen like dirt and grass before, but I've never seen any trash actually come up. So, I mean, I have no problem with it.
This landfill is registered as Type 2, meaning no hazardous or toxic waste allowed. On the other hand, buried trash over time produces methane gas, which the city of Riverview has been able to put to use.
We've dug wells in the ground, and the gas is sucked up through them wells into a processing plant, which generates electricity.
Enough electricity for Riverview to power an additional 5,000 dwellings. But there's still the concern of the trash contaminating the earth. Landfill manager Ed Wetherell says the fill is lined. Plus,
we put up leachate systems underneath the rubbish, and it collects all the rainwater, and then it's pumped into a sewer and treated.
In fact, Riverview's biggest worry was developing vacant land near Mount Trashmore. Developers told city leaders no one would want to live near a landfill.
So we did it ourselves. We took the money out of the landfill and put the streets and the sewers in. And then we sold the individual lots.
The revenue generated by Mount Trashmore and the golf course more than pays the annual $5 million cost of running the resort. And to skiers, it's just another hill to conquer.
If they can seal it up good so that there's no leakage, then I think it's a good idea because it's just making good use of the land.
Dan Williams for CNN, Riverview, Michigan.
Channel 7's Mike Hutman reports the ski hill known to many as Mount Trashmore may be getting even bigger.
In Riverview, officials see their big landfill not as a source of embarrassment, but as a source of pride. You don't mind Riverview being known for having a big landfill?
No. I'm very proud of the fact because, it has been successful.
And the mayor is confident that his town will not be dumped on or trashed by the story to air on 2020.
Our little community took the bull by the horns and tried to make of a problem, make some money so we can provide better service to the citizens of Riverview.
And among those services, Riverview has turned part of the old landfill into a golf course and small ski hill. Some call it Mount Trashmore. Folks around here prefer to call it Riverview Highlands. The 17 communities and 7 private companies that use the landfill have also provided enough money to build a new city hall and to keep property taxes down. Surprisingly, dozens of expensive homes have even gone up right across the street from the trash. At a time when cities are scrambling to find places to put their trash and to find money, Riverview hopes it stands as a model.
We hope that other communities will look at what Riverview has done and be encouraged by what we have accomplished.
By the year 2015, the town hopes to have collected enough trash to build another ski hill 100 feet higher than this one. There's even plans to put a revolving restaurant up on top, so you can eventually look down on Riverview and the recreation area that used to be its refuse. In Riverview, Mike Huckman, Channel 7 Action News, reporting.
As the formula. They've made their community a better place to live by taking the garbage that other towns don't know what to do with. John Stossel reports, the town that loves garbage. Stay with us.
This weekend, some say this slope offers the best skiing in the Midwest. It's actually a mountain of trash. Find out where when John Stossel visits the town that loves garbage when 2020 continues.
Trash isn't funny, and garbage can be disgusting. Most people don't like it and never will. But one town loves garbage because of what they do with it. John Stossel takes us out to the landfill.
Early morning, anywhere in America, the garbage is out, waiting to be picked up. You know what's in these cans. It's a relief to see someone take it away. We used to burn much of this garbage, but air pollution rules discourage that, so now it winds up in landfills. The part we notice most is the rotting food and rotten diapers, but most of it's crumpled paper and yard waste. Many environmental groups now say we can't keep dumping this stuff. Landfills are filling up, so we must change our lifestyle, give up some conveniences.
We have a crisis. Those dirty, stinking baby diapers are going to have...
Nebraska's legislature passed a law that will ban disposable diapers 2 years from now. The state of Maine outlawed these handy juice boxes. Of course, none of this would be necessary if we just opened some new landfills. But try to do that, and you hear from the neighbors.
There's no reason why we should have to live like this. Our clean air is being taken away from us.
Politicians know saying yes to a landfill means you're saying no to re-election.
We are unwilling to take a chance on someone else's garbage and who knows what else to be buried in our backyards.
Saying no, not here, brings the cheers. Who can blame them? Have you driven by a landfill lately? Who would want to live near such a huge pile of filth?
Or if you were foolish enough to take a closer look at the garbage that goes into a landfill. This is what happens to your TV set when it dies. Or more precisely, a closer smell at what's in here. It's easy to understand why nobody wants one of these things in his backyard. Well, almost nobody.
We like garbage. It's great.
We look at it as a positive thing, really. Garbage is good for Riverview.
Welcome to Riverview, Michigan, just outside Detroit. It's a town that opens its heart to other people's trash. Some 20 years ago, Riverview officials said, someone has to do it, so we'll expand our landfill. For a very small fee, we'll also take other towns' trash. Today, 16 other communities and 7 private haulers bring their garbage to Riverview's town dump. Watching it happen, it's natural to think, what a nightmare for Riverview. From dawn till dusk, truck after truck hauls in load after load of garbage. It rolls in waves, 5,000 cubic yards each day. You'd think the town would be drowning in it. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Or you'd think they'd be choking on the smell. But it's the sweet smell of success to Riverview's mayor, Peter Rodeville.
Well, I smell money.
I smell garbage here.
Well, I don't know what you call it, but it smells good.
The mayor is so happy about the garbage because his town makes money from it. First, there were the dumping fees from other towns. Next came money generated by this plant. Into it goes gas released by the rotting garbage. Out comes more cash.
We recover the methane gas, and it's in our case, it's converted into electricity and sold to the power companies.
And you make money doing that?
Oh, yes, and it's environmentally safe and also provides a small profit for the city.
The result? While cities across America are cutting services to make ends meet, Riverview is flush with money.
$4.30 need to be added on.
Last year alone, Garbage Enterprises brought in $8 million. Look at the new City Hall. This for a town of just 14,000 people. The City Council chambers look like the UN, all paid for in cash. They also spent more than $250,000 on a new fire engine. But when the engine was delivered, it was too big for the firehouse.
It just didn't fit into the structure.
No problem. The landfill dollars funded a complete refurbishing of the fire station. They also bought new ambulances. In fact, they now buy 2 new and improved models every other year. If you plan to have a heart attack, try to have it in Riverview.
Our people have ambulance response within 3 minutes anywhere in the city.
The schools get the best of everything, too. While other towns' athletic programs are being cut back, Riverview fields and equips even freshman football teams. They have a big senior citizens program, totally free to participants. Yet to pay for all this, they don't levy high taxes on town residents. Riverview's taxes are the lowest in the area. Low taxes are one reason John and Nancy Kalina built their dream house. Right across the street from the garbage dump.
Well, it really doesn't have the appearance of what people think of garbage dump. They think of this big heap of open garbage with odor and flies and rodents and those kinds of things, and that doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen because as each new load of garbage is brought in, bulldozers quickly cover it with dirt. At the end of each day, the whole pile gets covered with 6 inches of clay. That kills the smell and builds the garbage into a mountain, a pile so big that residents nicknamed it Mount Trashmore. And from Mount Trashmore, you can see that more than 100 expensive homes have been built right next to the landfill.
There are ideas of what
Michael and Miko Caesar bought their house 4 years ago.
Why would you spend $500,000 on a house next to a garbage dump?
What we see, it's very pretty, and that's what we see. We don't have any. We don't have anything that is negative about it.
Doesn't it smell? Do you get rats or bugs?
No, never had any problems with it. What we see occasionally are seagulls.
Occasionally may understate it. If you happen on the dump by day, it looks like a scene from Hitchcock's famous horror film.
Did you ever see the movie The Birds?
Yeah.
Doesn't this remind you of that?
Yeah, it does. Matter of fact, sometimes if I come here and they all of a sudden fly away, I'm almost afraid they're going to attack me.
By dusk, they fly away somewhere and don't seem to bother anyone. Nothing about the landfill seems to bother anyone. The mayor's just been elected to his 7th term. Landfills don't have to be political suicide. Of course, it helps if you keep finding new things to do with them, like skiing on them.
Some years ago, they put in this chairlift, and when the temperature drops to 20 degrees or so, they make snow here. In fact, a ski magazine recently called Mount Trashmore, Riverview Highlands, that's the name of the resort, one of the best ski areas in the Midwest. Midwest is awfully flat, remember. It looks good in the commercial.
Fees from the lift tickets make Riverview's treasury even fatter.
Oh, yeah.
And when there's no snow, they have another way to make money. They've built a 27-hole golf course around the landfill. Riverview residents play for reduced rates. Outsiders pay more, and the city gets richer. Some of those profits go into landfill expansion. They're building a second garbage mountain, an eventual Twin Peaks of trash.
What we're going to do is expand this hill over to them trees over there, come up the same height as this, and then go up another 100 feet and put 4 more chairlifts, an Amtrak to go up to a restaurant up at the top.
All on top of garbage.
All on top of garbage. It works great for building hills.
It sure does.
On top of Mount Trashmore, you're at the highest point of the county, 125 feet above garbage. And the view is terrific. You see Detroit over there, Windsor, Canada over there, Toledo, Ohio in that direction. And in fact, officials from those cities have come here asking about Mount Trashmore, asking if they can build their own.
We're pleased to show them what can be done with landfills.
Other towns that once laughed at you are now saying, how can we do it?
They're not laughing anymore because this has become a success story.
And how does Riverview answer those who say landfills wreck the environment? We don't have enough room to keep building more?
I think that's just bunk. I think it can be done. Well, I would advise them to come to Riverview and see how we do it.
He'll be glad to show you Mount Trashmore and its scenic surroundings. Or you can check the statistics yourself at the local library. It's well funded, of course, thanks to garbage, and open most nights till 9.
I don't get it. I mean, if it doesn't smell, if there are no rats, if it doesn't pollute the waters, why isn't everybody doing this, every town doing this?
I think because people don't know about it. There's all this hysteria over bad dumps, and the improvements in technology that have made this possible have been gradual, and they just haven't made news. And I think people, when they worry about dumps, they think of the old town garbage dump, and they were dangerous. They didn't have the liner underneath. They didn't cover them with clay. So I could see why people didn't want that in their backyard.
Well, what about big cities? You know, like New York, Chicago, I mean, where there's lots of
Well, there it's a different
garbage.
problem. You have an existing landfill. You can retrofit them with the liner, but it's very expensive. You do need space. You can only make a garbage mountain so high. So in those cases, this may not work. They have to move them somewhere. But what we do in New York to ship our garbage to Ohio, that's crazy.
So the first thing you need is space, and the second thing is some good ideas.
And seagulls.
And seagulls. Sure didn't know this before tonight.
We'll be right back.
Des dépotoirs qui s'engorgent alors que la construction de nouveaux incinérateurs est interdite en Ontario. Et quand vient le temps de trouver de nouveaux sites d'enfouissement, tout le monde proteste car personne ne veut de dépotoir dans ce cours comme on sait fort bien. Au Michigan, une communauté fait des profits pourtant avec les ordures tout en s'amusant.
Du sommet du centre de ski Riverview Highlands, on peut voir l'Ontario et le lac Erie. Partout autour, le terrain est plat, mais à Riverview, la municipalité a construit une colline pour skier, sur des déchets.
I don't think a lot of people would realize that they're actually skiing on a sanitary landfill.
Les pentes sont construites sur les déchets, mais ce n'est pas évident pour les skieurs, dit-il. Depuis les 11 années que Lee Morris travaille à Riverview Highlands, il n'a eu que quelques plaintes concernant des odeurs. De l'autre côté de la colline, il y a un dépotoir fonctionnel, mais bien entretenu. Chaque jour, les ordures sont couvertes d'une couche de terre. Pour éviter les feux et les odeurs, le gaz méthane est expulsé grâce à un réseau de tuyaux. La municipalité convertit ce gaz en électricité et en tire un profit. Le dépotoir est payant aussi.
Through reserving a lot of that profit and being very prudent about it, we've been able to do some large capital projects such as...
Avec les profits du dépotoir, on a pu réaliser de nombreux projets et payer la construction de l'hôtel de ville de Riverview. Le centre de ski est subventionné par les profits du dépotoir. Les promoteurs de construction ont refusé d'acheter les terrains autour du dépotoir de peur que personne ne veuille acheter les maisons. La municipalité a donc vendu les terrains séparément. Aujourd'hui, on trouve même des maisons très luxueuses tout près du dépotoir et du centre de ski.
It's always been a positive thing, the way they run it, they take care of it, and you never have any problems.
Ce résident se dit fier du dépotoir et du centre de ski. C'est pourquoi il a construit sa maison ici. Grâce au dépotoir, les taxes sont peu élevées. Le maire de Riverview est fier lui aussi. Il reçoit de tous les coins du Canada et des États-Unis des demandes d'informations concernant le projet. Mais ça n'a pas toujours été comme ça.
We started on the landfill, people was laughing, garbage hill on Riverview.
Tout le monde s'est moqué de nous pendant des années, dit-il. Les fournisseurs ne voulaient pas installer d'équipement. Ils avaient peur des poursuites judiciaires éventuelles si jamais le terrain s'effondrait. Le projet a été entrepris il y a 25 ans. On avait alors l'intention de construire une pente de toboggan sur les déchets. Maintenant, les gens de Riverview songent à un très grand centre récréatif avec un restaurant au sommet, un amphithéâtre en bas et un petit train pour les balades d'été. Une portion des déchets pour ce projet viendra de l'Ontario, parce que la province n'a pas trouvé de solution aussi ingénieuse pour ces ordures. Actuellement, Riverview Highlands est pour les skieurs débutants. Mais d'ici l'an 2015, les pentes seront plus longues, plus hautes et plus raides grâce aux ordures. Et selon les autorités municipales, cette entreprise sera rentable bien avant la fermeture du dépotoir en 2015. Patricia Jefflin à Riverview, au Michigan.
Bravo, bravo.
C'est ce qu'on appelle la glorification des ordures.
On passe aux prévisions météo maintenant. Peu de changements, Jean, du temps plus doux. Alors, je pense que c'est l'élément positif dans notre bilan pour ce soir. Pour l'Outaouais et l'Est ontarien, l'année prochaine, des passages nuageux.